Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw and WWE main event results from the week of February 9th, 2020. Birthdays from February 6th through the 10th. February 6th, Connor, 1980. Hiku, February 7th, birthday, Hikuleo, 1991. Big Show on the 8th. He was born 1972. Classy Federer Blassie, 1918. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, 1956. Scary Sensational Sherry, 1958. Birthdays on the 9th, Medusa, 1964. Birthdays on the 10th, Tara, Victoria, 1971. Louis Spagoli, 1971. Vanessa Craven, 1982. KM, 1983. And rounding out birthdays, Taji Ishimori, 1983. This week's WWE Backstage, it was announced that John Cena will be appearing on the February 28th episode of SmackDown in Boston, Massachusetts. Cena's last WWE appearance was back in July on Raw Reunion, where he had a rap battle with the Usos. Also noted, Cena reportedly wants to have one more significant role in this year's WrestleMania. Those spots are very coveted. There are performers who work all year, 250 shows a year. They earn those spots, Cena said. I would love to earn one, at least. And the way you do that is by Vince McMahon, the head of creative, calling you up and being like, "Hey, pal, I'd like you to do this," and then say, "Yes, sir." And then I kind of put my own spin on it. On the last backstage, it was announced that WWE superstar John Cena making his return. As the last one he had on Raw Reunion, where he had the rap battle against the Usos. As he has previously teased a WrestleMania appearance, he also talked about wanting a more significant role in this year's WrestleMania. My guess is Elias. And he took to Twitter to thank WWE for allowing him to return, joking that he was promoting the Invisible Man on the 28th. Pun to his "you can't see me" gimmick. Thank you to WWE for allowing me the opportunity to come to #SmackDown, WWE on Fox, to promote a project nearly 20 years in the making. #Invisible Man. Cena's tweet, tongue-in-cheek, playing off of his "you can't see me" gimmick catchphrase. Invisible Man is an upcoming horror thriller to set release on February 28th, the same day Cena will make his SmackDown appearance. However, Cena has not been announced for the movie and does not have an affiliate with it. WWE confirmed that Cena's comment was a joke, stating on the WWE.com. Cena took to Twitter to joke about all the times that he has told us we, can't. Last WrestleMania, he showed up as Dr. Thumbnomics gimmick in a segment with Elias. Raw superstar Cedric took to Twitter today and indicated that he is frustrated with his spot in WWE. Frustrated is an understatement, Cedric wrote. The tweet has been pinned at the top of Alexander's Twitter feed. It's interesting to note that Cedric made the frustration tweet on the same day that reports were made on his WWE status. Dave Meltzer noted during Wrestling Observer Radio that Alexander is not being used, as officials have no plans for him. Paul Davis of WrestlingNews.co then reported a follow-up to the original report, noting that there are said to be no backstage issues with Cedric. But WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon simply does not see him as a big star right now. That report also noted that Vince will listen to Heyman on some ideas, but other times he can be closed-minded, and right now he's seeing nothing in Alexander. It was also said that Vince gave up on Cedric a long time ago. It was reported back in September 2019 that Vince had made the decision to bury Alexander in his hometown match against then WWE US Champion AJ Styles at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view, despite Raw executive director Paul Heyman wanting to push him. Their match ended up being moved to the kickoff pre-show that same night. Heyman reportedly planned to give Cedric a slow build push to the top, but plans were reportedly nixed by Vince. It looks like Cedric is still feeling that decision that Vince reportedly made last fall. Cedric lost an easy match to Angel Garza on this week's Raw, but his last Red Brand TV match before that was December 16th loss to Bobby Lashley. Cedric defeated Shelton Benjamin on the February 6th main event episode, but lost to current 24/7 champion Riddick Moss in his main event debut on January 30th. Cedric also defeated Shelton on the January 23rd main event episode and defeated Eric Young on January 16th episode. Before the December 16th loss on Raw, Alexander competed in a string of main event matches, a mix of wins and losses, including losses to guys like Ricochet and Mojo Rawley. Stay tuned for more updates on Cedric's status. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry responded to Rock's congratulatory message to his daughter Simone Johnson on signing with WWE, noting that he has been at the Performance Center in Orlando and WWE's first ever fourth generation talent is working hard. Bro, I'm here at PC. She's working hard at The Rock. Henry wrote in response to Rock's message to Simone, which you just heard. WWE has released Kathy Kelly's new sit-down interview with Simone Johnson, The Rock's 18-year-old daughter. Simone recently signed with WWE and has reported to the PC in Orlando, where at this link, it was recorded, Johnson is now training to be the first ever fourth-generation star. It will eventually make her WWE NXT debut. Kelly asked Johnson how she would describe the feeling of signing with WWE. Simone said she's loved pro wrestling for as long as she can remember, but she can't put this opportunity into words. I keep just going back to the idea of, I'm like, oh, I feel like a kid again. I feel like a 10-year-old me. Because I've loved wrestling for as long as I can remember, and now that I have the opportunity to finally pursue that, like I don't know, I can't put it into words, Johnson said. Johnson revealed that her grandmother, Ida Johnson, is the one who got her into pro wrestling, not her famous future WWE Hall of Famer father. Kathy asked Simone if there was a specific moment that made her want to be a WWE superstar. When I was 9 or 10, I was over at my grandma's house, and she was like, hey, I want to show you something. My grandma used to have like all these old WWE DVDs. She had like stacks and stacks of them, and we would just sit down and watch those. And I remember watching everything from wrestling in the 1980s to the Attitude Era, and then to the present day, and just seeing the change in wrestling and how it's progressed, especially to see it what it is now. She's actually the one who got me into wrestling, and then the minute I started watching it, I fell in love, and I knew that it was what I wanted to do. Kathy and Simone, why now is the time to start training for a WWE career? I think that the opportunity just presented itself to me now, and it's something I know that I've always wanted, and thankfully my parents have always been really supportive of it, she answered. Simone also revealed the first time she saw her dad wrestle live. The main event of WrestleMania 28, the match in 2012, saw The Rock return to the ring to defeat John Cena. My early memory of watching my dad was when he came back for WrestleMania 28, and that was the first time that I actually saw him wrestle live, Simone said when asked about her early memories of her dad's career. I was so happy because I had always seen him act, but to see him do something so different and to see him do something that I know that we both really connect with was amazing. Simone recently signed a WWE contract to begin training as the first ever fourth generation superstar. Kathy asked about how the Great One reacted to the decision. Simone said her whole family has always been supportive, and Dwayne has been with her every step of the way. He was so supportive, Simone said. My whole family has always been so supportive, and I'm really thankful for that. And he's been with me every step of the way. Kathy mentioned how Simone comes from a long line of wrestling greats in the mvie and Johnson families. And that's what it means to carry on that legacy in WWE. It means the world to me, and it was definitely a big reason for me wanting to go into wrestling, Simone said, because obviously wrestling was all I admired, and I love it. But to know that my family was such a personal, such a personal connection with it, it's really special to me. And I feel really grateful to just be able to have this opportunity, not to only wrestle, but also carry on that legacy. Simone did acknowledge that there is pressure in being the first ever fourth generation superstar. Kathy asked about that pressure. I do feel pressure, but I know that at the end of the day, it's something that always going to be there. So I know it's up to make that pressure, and it's used to just motivate myself. Simone said, video features footage from The Rock's 2019 visit to the WWE Performance Center, and Simone talked about having him there. Kathy asked if Simone has had the opportunity to train in the ring with her legendary father. I have, Simone said, of training in the ring with her dad. He came down to the Performance Center for a day. It was great because I got to see everyone here, and he got to see kind of how our culture is. Obviously, I love spending time with him, but to be able to train with him and do something I know we both love was great. Simone also revealed that the best advice her dad has given her in regard to the world of pro wrestling, he told me always just to be authentic to myself and remember the importance of connecting with the audience, Simone said. Simone was also asked about the first time she got in the ring. She recalled how she stepped into the ring at the age of 11 when her dad was training for WrestleMania 29. The main event saw Rock drop the title to John Cena in a rematch from the week before. So, the first time I actually stepped foot in the ring was when I was 11. Simone recalled, at that time, my dad was preparing to come back for WrestleMania 29, and he was training one day, and he brought me with him. And to be able to just finally be in the ring, it was kind of surreal to me, and it just further cemented the idea that it was what I had wanted to do. Kathy also asked Simone about the feeling she gets when she's at the state-of-the-art Performance Center and the culture there. Simone talked about how the WWE developmental can be a team effort at times. I think what I love the most about the Performance Center is that we get to learn from some of the best coaches in the world, but we also get to learn so much from each other, Simone said. I think that's something that's really special. Everyone here is so driven, and wrestling is a very individual sport. But here I feel like, in a way, we are all a team because we're all trying to better the company and better ourselves. Simone revealed another supporter who was wishing her the best, Triple H. Kathy asked about talks she's had with the WWE Hall of Famer and coming to the Performance Center. Triple H has always been so supportive and encouraging, Simone said. That's really something that means the world to me, and every time I see him, he's always wishing me the best, and to have his support means everything. It was revealed that Simone will continue furthering her college education while training for a WWE career. She is currently studying entertainment management. Kathy asked how she plans to balance both. My parents have always been really big on me going to college, further my education, and I want to make them proud. Simone said, I also want that for myself, so I think in my head, I knew that I was always going to have to figure out a way to balance them both. So I think keeping that in mind and how I'm able to do it. Kathy noted that the entertainment management is the best of both worlds, and Simone agreed. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I think they go really well together, Simone said. Kathy also asked Simone about any goals that she has set for herself. I don't know if I have any particular goals right now, more just continue to work hard and be the best version of myself and the best athlete I can, Simone said, agreeing that she needs to hit the ground running. Kathy then congratulated Simone, and she thanked her to end the interview. Xavier Woods, who is currently out of action with an Achilles injury and is expected to be out of the ring for a few more months, has been announced for the DC Universe All-Star Games miniseries that will premiere on the DC Universe streaming service on Friday, February 28th. former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. and Scooby-Doo fame, when he did the movie, is an executive producer of the series. WWE has officially announced WrestleMania 37 for Inglewood, California, next year on March 28th. Inglewood is in the Los Angeles metro area, and WWE is giving WrestleMania its Hollywood theme. Due to the big event going Hollywood, WWE's A-lister The Miz is really hoping to return to the main event of the grandest stage of them all next year. Miz took to Instagram and said he will quit if he doesn't headline the show until 2021. He made the remarks in the caption of a fan-made WrestleMania 37 graphic. Also, adding props to the creator, he wrote, WrestleMania is going Hollywood next year, and if I don't main event, I quit. Hashtag WrestleMania 37. Hashtag Mistlemania. Miz's longtime friend Dolph Ziggler responded to the comments section of the Instagram post and joked, or didn't joke, about Miz finally quitting WWE. Ziggler wrote, yes, finally, the quitting. Ziggler and The Miz often go back and forth on social media and are both known to mess around with fans and each other. On the platforms, thanks to Wrestling Inc. reader Brian Reed Bieto for sending in-person notes from Raw in Ontario, Canada. I've been to almost every WWE event at the Toyota Center, formerly Citizens Business Bank Arena, in the last few years. And that includes Raw, SmackDown, house shows. And keep in mind the Toyota Arena holds nearly 50% less people than that of the Staples Center in Los Angeles and the Honda Center in Anaheim. With that being said, approximately 85% of the seats were filled, except for the second level behind the cameras and on the east end of the arena, where they had 2 or 3 sections completely blacked out because of the enormous WrestleMania sign would have obstructed their view. I'm not sure how it came off at home, but the fans in the audience were into the show the whole night. Before Raw came on the air, they had 2 main event matches. When the show began, it went dark except for the screens showing highlights from the previous Raw setup tonight. During the opening video, Seth Rollins, Murphy, and the AOP all walked down into the ring. It didn't seem like many people were aware of that until the lights came back on and they were standing in the ring. First match between Becky Lynch and Asuka was not only great, it had the crowd in it the whole time, which is not an easy task. When Lynch won, the crowd reacted like she had just won the Super Bowl. After the match, when Shayna Baszler attacked Lynch from behind, and at first, people thought that she had punctured the neck of Lynch because of how much blood was on both Shayna and Becky. But not too long after that, the crowd seemed to all come to the same conclusion that Baszler had some kind of blood packet because the amount of blood seemed so improbable. When MVE came out, he got a good reception. They went to complete darkness shortly thereafter for a commercial. And during that break, the crowd chanted MVP for most of the time. But in a span of 3 minutes, MVP went from face to heel by insulting the crowd. Drew McIntyre came out for the VIP lounge, hosted by MVP, and received a very positive reaction after their segment was over. McIntyre made his way up to the top of the entrance ramp, and you could see the cameraman, who was right in his face. Tell him to turn around and point at the big screen where they walk out. And Drew obliged. Within seconds, they went dark, but in sure sign that he's embracing the role of a fan favorite, he clapped and waved to the crowd as he walked off the stage and towards the backstage. The most awkward, at least to me, moment of the night was Akira Tozawa walking out with an intense look on his face to battle Aleister Black. But you could see that the defeated look on his face because it seems he got no more than 10 people were cheering for him. To add insult to injury, as soon as the match was over, Aleister was set to grab the mic and talk, which he did. But with Tozawa down in the ring, referee Derek Moore literally rolled Tozawa out of the ring off the edge of the apron and onto the floor, which did not look like a good landing at all. The actual main event got a large pop with Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, and one of the Viking Raiders simultaneously dove through the middle ropes to take a shot at Rollins, AOP, and Murphy. A few random notes that New Titantron, or whatever they call it now, is not only bigger and shaped differently, the quality of the videos played during TV breaks, and even during matches is such better resolution than the old one. Of all the video clips that they did between commercials, Andre the Giant documentary, WWE going to entertain the troops, and John Cena playing some weird game with fish on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. The only one that got as close and no response was a video from last week where Goldberg told Bray Wyatt that he's next. And the fan shows loudest crowd moments, Lance winning a more than 25-minute back-and-forth battle with Asuka. Matt Hardy segment, McIntyre storming MVP. No reaction or heel heat. Orton, Rollins, and Tozawa. This week's Raw saw Orton take out Matt Hardy with an RKO and a steel chair shot to the head. WWE posted off-air video of Hardy receiving medical attention at this link and walking to the back, and some fans cheered him on. And I'll leave it at that. Matt also took to Twitter after the match and said goodbye. Goodbye, he wrote, linking to the latest episode of his Free to Delete series at this link, along with the Guts Get Up to Speed video for this episode. Also noted, Matt's WWE contract is scheduled to expire on Sunday, March 1st. Major hurdle between Matt and WWE officials has not been paid, but creative differences over how he would be used moving forward. No official word on yet if tonight's angle with Orton will judge to write Matt Hardy off TV, but it looks like it could be. And that link again. Stay tuned for more updates on Matt's WWE status, and you can see his tweet and latest Free to Delete episodes at this link, along with a few shots from tonight's angle with Orton at the Raw Free to Delete episode number 9. WWE taped the following matches from tonight. For tonight, Ontario, Canada for a main event. No Way Jose defeated Eric Young. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC, the club, defeated Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins when Gallows pinned Ryder. Brian Reed contributed to the article. Raw on the USA Network opened up with a usual video package. Live from Toyota Center in Ontario, Canada. As the power explodes, Tom Phillips welcomes us, reminds us that we're only 55 days away from WrestleMania 36, and Tom is joined in by Byron Saxton and Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. They hyped tonight's show. Big 8-man main event. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defeating against Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka. Plus, you can McIntyre on the MVP and the VIP Lounge with MVP. We go right to the ring. Mike Rome does the introductions as Raw Tag Team Champions. Seth Rollins and Murphy already standing there with the Authors of Pain, a common wrestler. Rollins welcomes us to Raw and says he's proud to stand here as our Monday Night Messiah. Fans boo. Rollins talks about how he didn't like the new nickname at first, but it's growing on him, and he understands he has to lead the people because they can't do for themselves. Rollins shows us footage from last week, 6-man action with Viking Raiders and Kevin Owens versus AOP and Murphy. Rollins goes on about how he's frustrated with Owens and his friends. Rollins says they aren't leaving the ring tonight until their message is heard. Music interrupts, out comes Owens. Owens and Rollins trade words until Owens brings out the Viking Raiders. They end up going to the ring, but Murphy and the AOP meet them at ringside. The 6 superstars brawl at ringside as Rollins watches from the ring. Samoa Joe comes from behind and drops Rollins into a coquina clutch as the fans go wild. Murphy and AOP make the save for Rollins. Vikings and Owens enter the ring to continue the brawl. Murphy is left alone in the ring with a baby face. Owens delivers a big stunner, sending Murphy out of the ring. Joe's busy hits, and they celebrate. They pose in the ring. First actual match of the night, women's title match, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch makes her way to the ring while the other superstars are still wrapping up their opening segment. The man hits the ring and poses as we go to commercial. Back from the break, out comes the tag team champions, Kabuki Warriors. Asuka with Kairi Sane. Asuka talks trash on the mic, but she's just laughing and carrying on. Some in Japanese, mostly in Japanese. Becky and everyone else looks confused. Like, what the hell did you just say? We get formal ring connections from Mike Rome. Back and forth to start the match. The trade counters and attempts for a few minutes. Becky fights up and they taunt each other. Lynch rocks Asuka and starts working on the arm as the fans chant her name. Asuka blocks the pin attempt and Lynch keeps her grounded with her side headlock. Sane cheers Asuka on. They get up and run the ropes, but Lynch drops Asuka with a big shoulder as the fans pop. Lynch press flexes and shows off, but Asuka rocks her a few times. Lynch sends Asuka back down. Lynch charges in the corner, but misses. Sane ends up on the apron with Lynch. Sane taunts Lynch. Lynch goes for a big boot, but misses as Sane jumps back to the floor. Asuka takes advantage of the distraction and knocks Lynch to the floor with a hip attack. Back to commercial. Back for the break, Asuka's in control. Fans try to rally for Becky as Asuka keeps her grounded in the middle of the ring. Becky fights up and out, but Asuka hits another hip attack. Asuka keeps charging, but Becky fights back. Becky with a series of clotheslines and a drop kick. Fans pop for Becky as she kicks Asuka back down. More back and forth. Becky blocks a German suplex. Asuka avoids a disarmer. Asuka with a big knee to the face. Asuka drives Lynch down with a sit-down powerbomb variation, but Becky still kicks out of two. Asuka charges, but Becky avoids it. Lynch ends up sending Asuka to the floor. Lynch flies off the apron, but takes out Sane instead of Asuka, as Sane sacrifices herself. Asuka takes advantage and drops Lynch from behind with a kick. Asuka brings it back in the ring, but runs into a huge boot to the face. Lynch comes off the top, but Asuka catches her with a code breaker in midair for a close 2 count. Sane and Asuka can't believe it. Lynch avoids the Asuka lock, but Asuka sends her shoulder first to the ring post. Lynch dodges a hip attack, and Asuka gets stuck in the ropes. Lynch applies the disarmer on the ropes, but the referee counts. They tackle some more on the apron now. Lynch ends up driving Asuka down on the apron for a pop from the crowd as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Asuka hits a big superplex for a close 2 count. Asuka shows frustration, delivering a drop kick to the face for another pin attempt. Asuka goes right into the arm bar. Lynch finally powers up from a triangle, dropping Asuka back down into the mat. Asuka kicks out at 2. Sane yells at her. At them both. Fans chant, "This is awesome now." Asuka dodges Becky's top rope leg drop and goes right into the Asuka lock. Lynch struggles on the mat as they tackle some more. They trade pin attempts. Lynch ducks a kick and rolls Asuka up for another 2 count. Asuka blocks the disarmer again for her pin attempt. Lynch ends up driving Asuka back down and covering for the pin to retain. After the match, Becky stands tall as the music hits. Becky raises the title in the air until NXT superstar Shayna Baszler suddenly attacks out of nowhere. Dropping Becky from behind, Baszler works Becky over and then goes after her, the back of her neck. Baszler bites the back of Becky's neck and comes back up with blood pouring out of her mouth. Baszler screams out as the referee checks on Becky, who is rolling out in pain as the referee checks on her. Some fans boo Baszler as she marches up the ramp. A frantic Becky is talking with the referee with blood everywhere. The referee puts on his gloves and tends to Becky as we see paramedics coming down to check on the man. Lynch insists she's fine. She yells at one paramedic to take it easy as they try to check on the wound. Back to commercial with a split screen as Lynch is helped away from ringside. Mojo Rawley and Riddick Moss versus the Street Profits. Tag team action. Back to the right, 24/7 champion, Mojo Rawley is in the ring with Riddick Moss. We see Becky Lynch backstage, insisting she doesn't need medical attention. Street Profits are out next. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They celebrate with the fans in the ring. Tom says Mojo 24/7 title is not up for grabs during this match. Fan chant, "We want smoke," as the Profits take the mics. They take shots at Mojo as we get the bell. There's some back and forth to start the match, but the Street Profits quickly put Moss away after double team, spine buster, and splash combo. Quick squash match, not even a minute match. After the match, Mojo comes in to help Moss back to his feet. Moss rolls Mojo up out of nowhere and pins him to become the new 24/7 champion. Moss takes off with the title, running through the crowd. We see Becky Lynch backstage, still arguing with her officials and paramedics. She ends up stealing the ambulance and dropping away with the sirens on. We go to the ring for the return of the VIP lounge as MVP makes his way to the ring. Back to commercial. Back from the break. MVP is in the ring with a setup for the MVP lounge. Some fan chant his name. He gives up an intro that says he gave back because he had an itch to scratch. And he's still balling like Roddy Rich. MVP goes on and introduces his guest for tonight. Out comes Drew McIntyre for a pop. Drew marches down the ramp and he's stopped by two guys at the bottom of the ramp who weren't sure about letting him through MVP's red ropes. They want to check his name on the guest list, but he powers past them and hits the ring. MVP gives Drew some props for doing things his own way, and they mention the WrestleMania 36 match with WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Drew jokes about pointing to the sign, and he does for a pop. MVP wants Drew to keep his eye on the prize and ignore what the non-VIP people are saying behind his back. MVP goes on about how some people think Drew isn't ready to be champion, not MVP. But some people, MVP goes on, there's some tension brewing. MVP wants to be Drew's business manager to help guide him. Drew says, that's the catch. Drew says maybe MVP could be his Paul Heyman. MVP agrees, but he would be a much better looking version. Drew says the difference between he and Lesnar is that he doesn't need an external brain thinking for him, someone talking for him, or a business partner kissing his ass like MVP is doing. MVP says Drew knows better. He's never been an ass kisser, but he is an ass kicker. They face off for a second. Drew goes on to leave, but MVP grabs his arm and tells him not to turn his back because he needs MVP. Drew drops MVP with the Glasgow kiss headbutt. Drew gets hyped up and takes his shirt off and jacket off as the fans pop. He counts down from three down to one and drops MVP with a Claymore kick. When he gets up, Drew gets mocks the ball and gesture for a laugh from the crowd. Drew poses in the corner, points up the WrestleMania sign as his music hits. We're going to replays. Drew marches up out of the ring and stops to intimidate the guys controlling access to the VIP lounge. Drew poses on the stage and yells out one more time to end the segment. And now to show his video package on Randy Orton's recent attack on the Hall of Famer Edge. Orton will be here tonight to explain the attack. Still to come, Angel Garza will be in action. Back to commercial. Back to the break, we'll see Seth Rollins and his crew backstage. Angel Garza Cedric Alexander was up next. We go back to the ring. Cedric waits in the ring as NXT superstar. Angel Garza comes out with Zelina Vega. Vega takes the mic and shows us how Garza debuted on Raw last week by taking out his cousin Humberto Carrillo and then going at it with Rey Mysterio. Garza takes the mic and talks some trash until Carrillo runs down the ramp and tackles Garza. Carrillo unloads on Garza until officials and security hit the ring to pull him off. Garza talks trash from the floor, but Carrillo is held back. Security and referees back Carrillo up the ramp as Vega and Garza taunt him from ringside. The referees order Garza into the ring. Bell rings and Cedric tries to attack, but the referee backs him off. Vega provides a distraction and Garza takes advantage, dropping Cedric. Garza grounds Cedric and works on his arms. Cedric turns it around, but Garza breaks it with a back headbutt. Garza sends Cedric to the apron, but Cedric fights back in and hits a Hurricanrana. Cedric clotheslines Garza and unloads with kicks as fans cheer him on. Cedric with a running forearm in the corner and a big drop kick to the back of the neck. Cedric kicks up for a pop. Garza goes out for a backbreaker. Goes out for a breather. Cedric tries to attack through the ropes, but Garza catches him and slams him on the floor as a big applause. Garza looks to expose the concrete as the referee counts. He changes his mind, goes back to Cedric, but gets rocked and sent into the barrier. Cedric brings him back in the ring and goes up top, but Garza drop kicks him in midair. Garza rips his pants off for another pop. Garza grabs Cedric and hits a wing clipper in the middle of the ring for the pin in the win. After the match, Garza all smiles and stands with Vega in the ring. We're going to replays while his music hits. And now to show us how NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley interrupted Charlotte Flair last week on Raw. No mention of Flair's appearance on NXT. Charlotte Cruz backstage with Ripley now, asking if she's still waiting for an answer from the Queen. Ripley says no, because she gets out, and does what needs to be done. Charlotte brings up the TakeOver Portland match with Bianca Belair this coming weekend. But Sarah Logan interrupts. Logan isn't happy with Ripley, thinking that she can just come to Raw. They have some words as Ripley knocks Logan by asking who she is. Looks like we got a match for later. Ripley walks off as Logan isn't happy. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Carmella versus Bayley for the title is confirmed for SmackDown. Sarah Sharp is backstage with Lana and Bobby Lashley for comments on tonight's match with Ricochet. Lana and her My Bobby shtick is getting really old and annoying, but she continues. Lashley looks like he might be getting annoying too. Lashley says he will reintroduce Ricochet to reality tonight, and he won't make it to Super Showdown to face WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Lashley says Lesnar can thank him for this one. Lana dismisses Schreiber. Sarah Logan versus Ripley was up next. We go back to the ring. Out comes Sarah Logan with a microphone. She had words for Ripley and introduces herself. Out next comes the NXT Women's Champion for a match. Ripley hits the ring, but the music interrupts. Out comes Charlotte Flair. Flair waves at Ripley from the stage and tells her to proceed. The bell rings and Logan attacks, but Ripley gets the upper hand. Ripley dominates Logan while looking up at Flair. Ripley drop kicks Logan as Flair claps from the stage. Ripley delivers a few more shots before hitting the Riptide in the middle of the ring for the squash win. After the match, Flair claps from the stage as Ripley stands tall as the music hits. We go to replays. Ripley takes the mic and wants to know where her answer is. Ripley says she's gone to Raw and Flair to NXT, but still no answer. Flair says maybe that's just how the Queen operates. Ripley says maybe Flair just likes being a royal pain in her. Flair interrupts and has a question before she answers Ripley's question. Flair asks, how do we know that Ripley will still be the champion after her TakeOver Portland match with Bianca Belair this Sunday? Flair throws a woo at Ripley from the stage and the music starts up. Ripley raises the title in the air as a series shut her down. The segment ends without an answer to the WrestleMania 36 challenge. Still to come, segment, Lashley versus Ricochet back commercial. We get a video package on Ricochet winning the recent Fatal 4-Way to earn the Super Showdown title, shot from WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley. We go back to the ring. Out first comes Bobby Lashley with Lana. Charlie is backstage with Ricochet now, asking about Lashley's threats from earlier. Ricochet isn't concerned and says he's never backed down from a fight and doesn't plan to start now. Ricochet has dreamed of being WWE Champion for 17 years, and nothing will stop him from the biggest opportunity of his career. Nothing will stop him from walking, crawling, or limping into Super Showdown. Music hits, and out comes Ricochet to the ring now. The match is presented by the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie. A bell rings, and Ricochet attacks in the corner. Ricochet keeps trying to mount offense, but Lashley drops him in the corner. Ricochet uses some of his speed to get over on Lashley, but Lashley drops him with ease using his shoulder. Lashley presses Ricochet high over his head as he slides out. Lashley still drops him. Ricochet fights back with kicks. After they tangle near the apron, Ricochet ends up kicking Lashley into the floor. Ricochet runs the ropes and hits a big suicide dive. Ricochet brings Lashley back into the ring, but he fights back. Ricochet tosses Lashley back to the floor. Ricochet runs and leaps out again, taking Lashley back down, back to commercial. More back and forth after the break. Ricochet keeps fighting and lands another big kick. Lashley ends up launching Ricochet into the top of the ring post. Ricochet falls out to the floor and lands hard. Lana cheers Lashley on as we get a replay. Lashley falls to the floor and works Ricochet over against the barrier now, keeping him down. Lashley picks Ricochet back up and tosses him into the barrier as Lana applauds. Lashley brings him back in the ring. Lashley with a suplex for a 2 count. Lashley grabs Ricochet in the middle of the ring. Now as we get a split screen with a trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Why? There's no WWE wrestler in it. Which is the presenting sponsor of this match. Ricochet tries to get up, but Lashley keeps hitting him with big knees to the gut. Well, I guess because Sonic does kind of go fast. Ricochet, ding, bing, bing. Ricochet fights back and drops Lashley with an insecurity. Ricochet keeps fighting and sending Lashley into the corner, but Lashley is still standing. Ricochet nails a kick to the face, drop kicks Lashley in the corner. Goes on and hits a big crossbody from up high. Then a running standing shooting star press. Lashley kicks out too. Ricochet scoops Lashley when he gets up, but Lashley clubs him away back, right out of the hole. Lashley jumps Ricochet to the mat after blocking a few shots. Lashley overpowers again and hits a massive spine buster in the middle of the ring. Ricochet somehow kicks out, and Lashley can't believe it. Lashley with a big forearm to the back. Lashley takes Ricochet to the top for a back superplex, but Ricochet lands on his feet. Everyone is shocked. Ricochet then unloads with kicks into the corner. Ricochet goes up top, but the fans pop. Ricochet nails a 630 from the top and pins him for the win. After the match, a furious Lana doesn't fit the ringside as Ricochet's music hits. We go to replays. So to come, Randy Orton will be here. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Tom plugs Charlotte Flair's appearance on WWE Backstage on tomorrow night, on Tuesday night. We'll see a replay of Shayna Baszler attacking Becky Lynch from earlier, following her title defense over Asuka. We also see how Becky stole the ambulance. We got a ring. Out comes Randy Orton. Orton enters the ring as the fans boo him. He takes his time, looks out around the arena like he did last week. Orton takes the mic and says he still owes everyone an explanation for what he did 2 weeks ago to Hall of Famer Edge. Orton says what he did to Edge hurt him more than it did Edge. Before he can continue, the music interrupts. Out comes Matt Hardy to a pop. Fan chat delete as Matt walks to the ring with a mic. Matt says he and everyone else wants to know why Orton did it. Matt is in the ring now. Matt says Orton is probably thinking, why does Matt give a dang about Edge? Matt talks about his history with Edge in fan chat for WWE Hall of Famer Lita. Matt says there was a time when he absolutely hated Edge, but before he and his brother Jeff Hardy were really close with Edge and Christian. Matt goes on about how they revolutionized the ladder match. Fan chat TLC, and Matt goes on about what they did with the TLC match and how it will be a staple in the WWE forever. Matt says they went to WrestleMania a few times and stole the show multiple times, and they did it together. Matt goes on about Edge's retirement and how he finally made the most miraculous return over 9 years later, but Orton took that away. Matt tells Orton to look at him. Matt asks, what the heck is wrong with Orton? Orton goes to speak, but tries for the RKO instead. Matt blocks it and they tangle. Orton blocks the side effect and then drops Matt with RKO in the middle of the ring. Some fans boo as Orton goes to the timekeeper's area and brings a few steel chairs in the ring. Orton places one chair under Matt's head and then uses the other chair to smash his head as the referees run down. It's too late. Orton drops the bent chair and stands over Matt as the fans continue to boo. Orton rolls out of the ring as the referee comes to check on Matt. Fans boo as we go to replays. Orton stops on the stage and turns around as the boos get louder. Orton stares back at the ring as we go to commercial. Back from the break, we see how Liv Morgan was attacked by returning Ruby Riott. Sarah Schreiber's backstage with Riott now, asking why she has so much animosity for her former partner. Ruby says Liv was her best friend, and best friends know everything about each other. Ruby says she knows the real Liv, and she's like a little puppy dog on a leash. Ruby says she's not buying this new Liv, who acts like she can strike when she wants to. Ruby says Liv is a follower, and she came back to put her in her place, to remind Liv that she strikes when she says so. Ruby walks off. Next match, we got Aleister Black versus Akira Tozawa. We go to the ring. Out comes Aleister Black as Akira Tozawa waits in the ring. Bell rings and Tozawa avoids a big boot. Tozawa dodges a shot again, but Black ends up sending him to the mat. Black runs into boots in the corner. Tozawa drop kicks to Black. Tozawa mounts offense, but Black nails a big pop-up knee strike in the middle of the ring. Black stands over Tozawa and lifts him up with his foot. Black then levels Tozawa with big black mass. Black takes his time covering for the pin for the easy win. After the match, Black sets up next to Tozawa as his music hits. We go to replays and come back to Black standing tall. Black takes the mic and says he's enjoyed these past few weeks getting to share these intimate moments with fans, and he's appreciative of every person here tonight because that is what it's all about. Black says everyone here tries to escape to their given idea of paradise one way or another, and he knows a thing or two about rebelling to paradise. As for himself, Black is starting to feel like an animal inside of a cage. He takes a seat in the middle of the ring again, and the lights go down and the spotlight shines on him. Black says those who come out from now on should know it's not him in the ring with them. It's them who will be trapped in a cage with him. We see Becky Lynch walking in the back after returning to the arena in the ambulance. Sirens blaring. Back to commercial. Back to the break. We get a promo for WrestleMania 36, which is just 55 days away. Announcers show us a family at ringside who received a seat upgrade from Little Caesars. We go back to the ring. Out comes Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, and she's all business. Lynch takes the mic, says, and fan chant her name. Baszler says the doctors numbed her up. Gave her something real nice for the pain, and now she's back on Raw to smash her face in. Becky calls Baszler out. Becky says Shayna got her attention. She doesn't care how tough Shayna is or who she hangs out with because she's ran through them all. Becky says she will break Baszler down week by week, little by little. Becky says Baszler better find her before she finds her first. She tosses the mic and exits the ring as the music plays. Becky marches back up the ramp. We see Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens backstage walking with the Viking Raiders back to commercial. Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, the Viking Raiders versus Seth Rollins, Murphy, and Austin Payne, your main event. Out first comes Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. Out next, then comes the Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Murphy, and Austin Payne, a common wrestler. So we get 4 on 3. Well, we'll wait and see. Rollins takes the mic. Before the match, he goes to speak, but a big brawl breaks out. Both teams spill out to the floor and keep fighting. Back to commercial before the bell hits. Back for the break. And the match is underway. Joe unloads on Murphy early on. Joe drops Murphy in the corner and then does an enziguri. Owen tags in and hits a big elbow drop in the corner. Owen taunts Rollins as he tries to come in. Ivar tags in and slams Murphy as Eric also tags in. Eric slams Ivar on top of Murphy. Eric covers for a 2 count on Murphy. Akam ends up tagging in and beating Eric down. Eric tries to hold Akam's leg, but he gets kicked. Rezar tags in for the big AOP double team. Rezar drops Eric with a big knee for a 2 count. Rezar clubs away on Eric now. Murphy comes back in and keeps control. Eric knocks the others off the apron and unloads on Murphy. Ivar tags in with a big power move and smashes on Murphy. Ivar knocks others down on the apron and dukes it out with Murphy. Murphy tries to use his speed, but Ivar levels him with a huge clothesline for a pop. Back to commercial. Back to break. Akam brings Owens back in the ring for a 2 count. Murphy tags in and keeps him down. He then tosses him out of the ring. Murphy distracts the referee, allowing Rollins to rock Owens on the floor. We get a big follow-away slam into the barrier now. Owens calls in, but Rollins rolls Murphy in to stop the tag. Akam tags in and drags Owens back to the corner. Rezar tags in with a big elbow to the ribs for a quick pin attempt on Owens. Rezar keeps Owens grounded in the middle of the ring now. Akam tags back in for a double team on Owens. Rollins plays to the crowd from the apron, but they mostly boo him. Owens tries to fight to his corner, but Akam takes him back down and works him over. Murphy tags in and unloads on Owens again, grounding him to the mat now. Fans rally for Owens. Owens fights up and out. Trading strikes for Murphy. Owens rocks Murphy and then rocks Rollins off the apron with a big right hand. Owens spikes Murphy into the mat with a big DDT. Joe gets hot tag and unloads on Rollins as he also comes in. Fans pop. Rollins boots Joe and comes off the second rope, but Joe nails the inverted atomic drop. Joe keeps the offense going and sends Rollins to the floor. Joe goes to run the ropes for a dive, but AOP gets on the apron to meet him. The Vikings come in and knock AOP off the apron. Joe and the Vikings run the ropes, diving out at the same time on AOP and Rollins. Rollins and Joe trade shots in the ring again. Rollins fights off the coquina clutch with a jawbreaker. Joe slams Rollins with a Uranagi, but Murphy breaks it up in two. There's chaos in the ring now as everyone gets involved, hitting some of their signature moves as the referee tries to restore order. Owens goes to the top and hits a big cannonball to the floor, taking down AOP and the Vikings against the barrier. Breaking it, Joe dodges a stop from Rollins in the ring. Murphy tags in and Joe applies a killer clutch on Rollins. Joe breaks it and applies it on Murphy now, bringing him down. Rollins breaks it with a stomp while the referee is distracted by AOP on the apron. The referee didn't see Murphy tap out to Joe. Rollins rolls back out after hitting Joe with a stomp. Murphy immediately covers for the pin and the win. After the match, the heels immediately retreat up the ramp as Rollins' music hits. They all stand together and stare back at the ring, laughing at the losers of the match. Raw goes off the air. Dark match main event after Raw in Ontario, Canada saw two WWE veterans go at it in an interesting matchup. Randy Orton versus R-Truth. Orton ending up hitting the RKO to getting a win. And that concludes my Raw results and WWE main event. Peace out. See you on video. If you don't know, just comment, brothers and sisters.